Hello everyone, my name is Rong, and today I'm going to do a project presentation on my system development system, EBNF, an e-commerce for business. So I'm going to brief on the introduction. So as I already established, I'm currently doing a system development project, and the name of the system is going to be EBNF, which is the abbreviation for Electronic Business Fund. So as the name states, this system here is developed specifically for the operation of the birdnest business. And on my right is the stakeholder for the system, Mr. Chong, and he is the owner of the birdnest business that the EBNS system is based on. So now I'm going to go into the problem statements that why am I going to make this system for him in the first place. So now I'm going to talk about the problem statements that the EBNF system has to solve. So for the first problem, Mr. Chong, the stakeholder, has to be constantly engaging with the clients through WhatsApp or WeChat in order to take their orders. That means he has to dedicate more effort in the multitasking between taking orders from his clients, uh, harvesting bird nests, and also doing other bird nest business operations. As for the second problem, what I inquire from my stakeholder, Mr. Chonvat, is that payments are done through inefficient methods, as he has to send his bank account to the clients in order for them to pay him in order for the order to be approved. So in that process, security issues may arise. And as for the third problem, since he's doing bank transfer payment, since he's mainly focusing on bank transfer payment, this is an inefficient transaction record method. So that means that whenever he's trying to refer back to a previous transaction made between him and the customer, he has to refer to the bank itself in order to make some sort of calculation of profit margin, cost and profit margins. So that will complicate that process also, since he has to constantly back and forth with the move back and forth with the bank in order to understand his business performance. As for the objectives of this project, I must obtain the descriptions of the main functionalities of the EBNS system through means such as doing an interview with the stakeholder of the EBNS system, which is Mr. Chongfa. I must also ensure that the approaches implemented by the EBNS system must meet the user requirements set by Mr. Chongfa. And also, I have to develop the EBNS system using suitable technology that I'll be discussing on the next slide, and also to verify the EBNF system's general completeness and correctness with the stakeholder or stakeholders in order to understand in order to know the system's fit for purpose. I'm now going to talk about the technologies to use in order to develop the EBNF system. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Flutter, which is a popular mobile application development framework. It provides me with the necessary libraries to build an application, and also it simplifies the application building process. That's why I will be using Flutter, and as to also mention, I will be using VS Code as the main IDE in order to develop the EBNF system. Next, I'm going to talk about Stripe. Stripe is a popular payment gateway API which handles payment. So I'm gonna integrate it into my ABNS system in order to streamline the payment process, as it also includes and it also provides features such as bill support and checkout that can be directly integrated into a system. And now I'm going to talk about Firebase. Firebase is a backend as a service provider, and it simplifies backend operation management. And that means that Firebase allows me to only focus on the front end implementation and not be concerned on the how am I going to implement the back end operation stuff. So I think that's all for the technologies to use. So I'm going to move on to the methodology. As for the methodology that I'll be using in my system development of the EBNF system, I'll be using Agile methodology. I use this methodology because it prioritizes stakeholder collaboration during system development. That means during the system development process, I can take in stakeholder feedback and make small adjustments in my system requirements before publishing it. As for the third point, provide the much needed flexibility for the system development. Agile methodology splits the development process of a system into sprints. That means for each sprint, I can develop a little bit of the EBNF system and publish it for the stakeholders to test out and get feedback from them in order to make further changes or improvements for that particular small functionality that I developed for that sprint. So I think that is all for the methodologies, and I'm going to move on to the use case diagram explanation. So now I'm going to explain the use case diagram by breaking it down into modules to explain it one by one. So we are currently looking at the user management module, which has the register user use case, the login user use case, and manage user use case. So in this module itself, it will be involving the four main actors in the system, EBNS system, which is customer, admin, owner, and staff. As this module will be focusing on the user management tasks, and as for explanation on the manage user use case, as for admin, he will be managing users inside the EBNS system, while for the other actors, they will be managing their own profiles. Sorry. So that is all for the user management module. As moving on to the next one, order management modules. There are 4 use cases, which is make order, make product recommendation, add product, and notify user. This module itself will be focusing on managing orders inside the EBNS system. So the customers will be making the orders, the system will be making product recommendations, and the owners and staff will be adding products into the EBNS system, and also updating and also notifying the users order status. Moving on to the next module, which is the payment module. This module itself will be focusing on handling the payment transactions made in the EBNF system. So we have 2 use cases here: make payment and generate receipt. And the actors involved in this process will be the customer and the Stripe API. Moving on to the data analytics module. This module here aims to generate graphical analysis based on the data within EBNS system. So the only one that can use this is the owner actor, and he will be invoking the use case view sales analytic and also generate report, and also generate a report for the sales analytic of certain periods. And last but not least, for the last module inside the use case diagram, it is the stock management module. And this module here will be handling the addition, the updating, and the deletion of the stock items recorded inside the EBNS system. So we have the staff and the owner as the actors of the module, and also the use cases add stock inventory and manage stock inventory. So I think that is all for the use case breakdown, and I'm going to move on to the system interfaces. So now I'm going to briefly talk about the system interfaces of the EBNF system. So now I'm going to show the interfaces for the user management module. So on my left, we have the EBNF systems login page and the register page. And moving on to the second part, I'm going to now show the interfaces for the order management modules. So the first one is the home page of the EBNS system. The second one is the interface that will be related to the make order use case and the notify order use case. And for the third one the third interface will be related to add product use case. As for the third module, payment module, we will be using for the make payment use case, we'll be using a card. So that's why the interface is a card. And for the generate receipt, we will be having this, sorry, we'll be using this interface here in order to represent it. As for the fourth module, the data analytic module, so the first one is the business analytic page. The first interface is the business analytic page, and it will be showing the profit graphs and some stock statistic, some small stock statistics that is retrieved from the stock classes inside the system. And also, if you want to if the owner wants to have a report, they can click on either one report. So one of them is just general the sales report, and the other one is the report for monthly ones. So for this interface here, it will be related to generate report. So here are the some graphical representations as from some additional information that can be included inside the report itself. So I think that's all for the interfaces for the data analytic module. And last but not least, we have the interfaces for the stock management modules. So the first interface here is related to add stock inventory use case, and the second interface here will be related to manage stock inventory use case. So we can see that the first interface here will be related to adding more stock into the EBNS systems database, and for the second one, the second interface is showing that how the users are going to manage the stock items inside the EBNS system. So I think that is all for my presentation, and thank you for listening to my presentation.